I think that is a 9:30. So we could start. What do you think, Inshu? We have 17 attendees so far in the room.
Yes, we can start.
All right. Yeah, I think everyone's time is valuable, so I don't want to waste. So we are going to start right away. Thank you everyone for attending today's session. We have very insightful talk today. So it's my pleasure to welcome you to APSCE Educational uh, Gamification and Game-Based Learning, EGG, we call APSCE webinar. I'm Jae-Young Moon, an assistant professor of instructional technology at the University of Alabama, United States. I'm also currently serving as a SIG chair of this gamification and game-based learning SIGs. We are very honored to have with us Dr. Sangmin Michelle Lee, a distinguished professor of educational technology at the Kyunghee University at South Korea, at the Metaverse Convergence Graduate School. Dr. Lee is a leading expert in our field, specialized in game-based learning, instructional design in immersive learning context, and also creativity in digital education. Her innovative research and international presentation and the scholarly work have greatly shaped the field of educational games and language learning technologies. Today, we look forward to Dr. Lee's insightful talk entitled From Players to Creator, Game-Based Learning Through Fan Fiction and AI-Powered Narrative. I think which is very promising and then intriguing topic that we are considering that the marriage between AI and XR and immersive learning environment design. So please give a big applause to Dr. Lee. And Dr. Lee, the stage is yours now.
Thank you for one introduction. I'm going to share my screen first. Give me some time.
No, take your time.
Okay, can you guys see my screen? All right. Okay, great. All right. Okay, thank you for the introduction and this wonderful opportunity to share my research. Today, well, first of all, I'm so pleased to meet you all here, and thank you for coming to my presentation early this morning. And I'm going to talk about 3 different research on game-based learning today. 2 have been published, as you see here, and I'm working on the 3rd one, for which I just finished collecting data last semester. Where 45 minutes or 50 minutes may not be enough to share all 3 research, but so I would like to focus more on showing students' work, which you can't find in my publications. Later, if you're interested in this research, that you can find the supporting theories and discussions in my papers later. Okay, I started this game-based transmedia project from my realization of the lack of certain features in the classrooms in Korea. The first one is the lack of opportunity for creativity in the classroom, which affect not only secondary school students, but also college students, even though creativity is one of the most important thinking skills for the 21st century students. But the second one is since Korea is in an EFL situation. Students do not have authentic opportunities to use English outside of the school. Consequently, their learning is mostly the unmeaningful, and the lack of opportunities to use the language in every life. So I'd like to promote more opportunities to use the language for meaningful purposes. Lastly, there is a gap between school literacy practice, okay, and the student daily lives. Although students use diverse technologies such as mobile apps, digital games, machine translation, and most recently, AI technologies and chatbots, they still rarely use these technologies in the classroom. So these lacks make students less motivated in learning, and I believe that creative and meaningful tasks can motivate and engage students more in learning. So I wanted to address these issues by incorporating games and providing space for student creativity. Excuse me. These are the characteristics of digital games, like goal, rule, challenge, rewards, competition, risk, consequences, mechanics, problem solving, graphic, the immersive, and so on. All of these characteristics are integrate and bring to enjoyment to players. Especially among these components of game-based learning, I focus particularly on story, the narrative of the game. In fact, the story or narrative has a strong power to engage and immerse players, making playing and learning more interesting and fun. So I expected a student could play, enjoy, and learn. So that's the purpose of using games in my classrooms. Okay, after browsing so many games, I found this one, Her Story. At first, I was a bit hesitant about where the game because it included a murder, betrayal, and some shocking, provocative events. It's all about the main character's narratives, and no other person appears in the game. So all through the game, the players will see just one person, this were female protagonist. The game has an archive of 271 video clips of interrogating the female character, Hannah. Her name is Hannah, in a detective office. She's a suspect of a murder of her husband, and the story goes like this. Hannah is the wife of a missing husband. Her father, who was a mushroom expert, died of a mushroom poisoning. One day, Hannah accidentally found a girl, Eve, who looked exactly like her and who lived just across from Hannah's house. Eve is Hannah's twin sister and was said to have died at birth. A war widow named Florence assisted Hannah's mother during her childbirth, stole one of the twins, and raised her in the attic. Eva found Florence's diaries and learned the secret. Later, Florence fell down a staircase and died. Hannah and Eve became friends, but Hannah later discovered that Eve had dated her boyfriend Simon, and Hannah and Simon got married, and Hannah became furious again when she found a mirror that was a present from Simon to Eve. Subsequently, Simon was found dead. So that's it, the synopsis of the story of the game. Okay, let's watch the trailer.
This is the third day running you've called me in. Hurt someone? You think it's murder? I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Okay, so the game is just one single player. The player enters a keyword and then video clips tagged with the keyword appear up to 5 at a time. Players can watch videos based on their keywords such, and this means the videos are viewed in the random order, and the videos the player views are not in chronological order. So players need to understand what's happening in the video so that they can come up with another keyword to watch more videos. They can also check their log file like this one on the left side. The green blocks represent the videos they have already watched, and the black ones represent the videos they have not yet watched. So overall, playing this game is like solving a puzzle about Hannah's story surrounding the murder. If you binge watch the video without counting the time spent searching for keywords, it would take about 5 hours to watch them all. But it usually takes students much longer because the language is very authentic and it's not very easy to understand. So therefore, the students usually watch the same video clips more than once to fully understand what's going on and find the next keyword. So without the right keywords, they may not be able to access all the videos. And so this mechanism is very effective to further engage players in the game as well as the intriguing story. Okay. I selected this game especially for a couple of reasons. First, the plot is interesting enough to easily grasp players' attention. And second, the video provides a rich second language input in authentic situation. Third, the game is based on Hemingway's iceberg theory. In this writing strategy, only the superficial facts about an event are shown, leaving readers to fill in the gaps with their imaginations and interpretations. In the game, in addition to random access, we are unsure whether Hannah is telling the truth about the events. She may be lying to the detective, so players must decide how much to believe. And since players can access content randomly, the videos randomly, there is ample opportunity for them to use their imagination, make guesses, draw inferences, and, be creative. I believe this unusual game design provides an opportunity for students to practice creativity. So the goal of the game is to identify the murderer and discern the entire story via nonlinear fragmented narrative. And the goal of the task is to reformulate the story based on the game plot and reconstruct the story in their creative writing and transmedia project. Okay, this is my first paper's research question. The first one is how does her story, a digital game, motivate EFL students to and facilitate their learning experiences in writing? And how does the incorporation of a digital game in a creative EFL writing class promote the student creativity? And this is a procedure and a method where I conduct a pre-survey and the student play the game and conduct a writing and the media, the transmedia project, and I got a reflection paper and the post survey. I'm going to share some of the students' examples, which you can't find in my publications. So the first one is a student writing. This one. Okay, the first one is a student writing an exact dialogue Hannah's unborn baby. Well, I'm not sure I have enough time for this one. I'm going to skip to the second one. Okay, this one is another example of creative writing. This student reported a longitudinal. Okay, I captured the. So you can see. This is like the medical report about the twins, Hannah and her twin sister Eve. So where this student reported a longitudinal medical study of the twin sisters from a psychologist's point of view, who had been a counselor of the twins for 10 years. The student really followed the format and the tone of academic papers. So I was at first I saw this one and I was confused that this student uploaded the wrong file. But when I read her report, I recognized this is for the transmedia creative writing project. And then the other one is so this one is also another one.
Okay, here's the breaking news tonight.
So,
This is found out where a traffic incident happened.
As mentioned earlier, the two people, Sarah and her boyfriend Brian, were found to death on April 7th. The investigations found Sarah as the criminal.
Yes, they need to have some evidence.
The police traced back their route on that day through the surveillance cameras. They found out Sarah
This is quite a long video, so I don't have enough time to show it all. But this is a TV show to talk about the murder case. So one student acted as a news anchor, and the other one was a reporter. So they were talking back and forth and talking about the murder happening in the game, Her Story. So they use a couple of different strategies and which appears in the real news report. So they report the incident in the site, and then also that they report as a reporter and the anchor. This one is another very good example, and this does not have a sound, so you can watch the video, and then also I can talk about on this website. This is this student creator Hannah's daughter, Sarah's two websites, one of her public life and the other one for her private life. This one is the first one is on a public site. I'm going to make it a little bit faster. Oh, why does not? I'm sorry about but it just stuck here. But okay. Well, I'm going to just explain. On the public website, logging in as a Sarah, and we can peep into Sarah's private messages in her life. And this shows her personal history, where she lives and where she works, which school she went, and you can see the comments from her friends on the website. It's like a Facebook. And logging out and logging in another website for her private life. And then we can see Sarah collected the evidence of her mother's crime. These are the were about her mother, Hannah, and her aunts, and Eve's diary. So all these diaries include two different handwriting. The students actually handwrote the diaries, and one neat and the other one messy, to represent two different personalities of her mother and her aunt. Okay. And briefly talking about the data analysis. My primary method was a content analysis for this first research paper, and I analyzed the student the writing and used Torrance's construct of creativity. According to Torrance, who is the most prominent scholar in creativity study. He got the four different components for creativity: originality, flexibility, and elaboration and fluency. I did not include the fluency in this study because where it was not feasible to measure student fluency of creativity. So I measured all the other three constructs. And these are some indicators and the coding sample. So originality, meaning new ideas appear that are not found in the game, and flexibility, the story or ideas presented from different angles than in the game. Elaboration, detailed information is added to the original story. Fluency originally refers to the number of original ideas emerging in creative writing during the timed task. But this task was not timed task, so that's why I didn't measure the fluency here in this writing. Okay, I'm going to move the next where research questions. So this is question where this is research number 2. Well, this is a really interesting unintentional finding. While I analyzing student writing for the first research, I discovered something super interesting. Their vocabulary level and use of English expressions were unusually high for this creative writing project, because I have taught them here in my university for like 10 or something years. So I instantly recognized that their level of English and vocabulary was a lot higher than usual levels. So I recognize they had learned a lot of English from this game, and I assume that because of the intriguing story and the game design that pushes the players to search for keywords, the student paid more attention to what Hannah said in the game. So, and this resulted in an enhancement of their English skills. So, in the following semester, I decided to measure the student vocabulary acquisition outcomes after playing the game. And these are the research questions for my second paper on her story. To what extent did the use of vernacular game promote EFL students' instant vocabulary acquisition and retention? Which of vocabulary-related variables, word level, exposure for, frequency, salience affected the students' L2 vocabulary acquisition and retention in the game-enhanced learning environment? Which of learner-related variables like language proficiency, interest, viewing captions affect the student L2 vocabulary acquisition and retention? Okay, so this is the summary of the result. And first of all, the t-test result showed a significant increase between the pre and the post-test. That's the top table on the right side, and the larger table on the left side lists the vocabulary included in the test. It also shows the frequency with which each word appeared in the game. So I actually counted all the word appears, not all the words, but the selected 25 words were selected for the test. The table shows the frequency which appeared in the game, as well as the level and the salience of each vocabulary word. Here, the salience refers to how significant the word is in the game narrative. For example, the term morning sickness, you can see the morning sickness, the number 7 in the table, appeared only once when Hannah became pregnant. And this is one of the words that most students did not know before the game. So let's check how many students knew the if you see for number 7, only the 12 students out of 59 students knew the word before the game. But after the game, you can see the number increased to 50 were students. So out of 59 students. So even even though that word appeared only once in the game, most students will learn the word morning sickness after playing the game. So it's because of the word significant in the story. Because think about the event. The protagonist Hannah was talking about she was once pregnant. So that is a kind of a provocative and a shocking event. So that actually will help the students remember and learn and remember the word. And I analyzed the learning outcomes related to learner variables, such as language proficiency levels and as well as vocabulary-related variables. So the middle one on the right is I think that's an vocabulary-related variables result, and sorry about that. I got the well the last one is an learner related variables. And then I found the salience was the strongest factor influencing student vocabulary acquisition, mainly because the students were so immersed in the story and learned the vocabulary in the context. So this graph shows the difference among the immediate post and delayed post tests. And you can see the huge learning increase in the vocabulary acquisition. So the light blue is a pre-test, and the purple one is a delayed post test, and the middle, the immediate post test is the red one. So you can see the huge difference between pre-test and a post test, so that it were signifying the increase student learning outcomes in vocabulary acquisition. Okay, I'm going to move the last one, which I am working on it. So at this moment, I have only one very broad research question, because I haven't started writing the paper yet. So broadly, I'm going to explore this research question. How did AI influence student creativity, and positively or negatively? Because I am interested in the digital creativity and also computational creativity. So where unlike the or previous two studies, last semester I incorporate the various AI technologies into the transmedia project. So this time I would like to investigate how AI will improve, enhance, or hinder student creativity during the creative writing task. Right. So last semester, again, my student played the game Her Story and created multimodal interactive story using my GPTs, creative teaser videos about their stories, and finally uh, visually reconstruct their stories on the site called the Thing Link. So you can see the first one is playing the game, and the second one is using my ChatGPT to create interactive stories, and the third one is now the work a screen capture of a teaser video about their my ChatGPT creative the interactive creative stories, and the last one is the Think Like a site where the student visualize the stories. Okay, right. So probably it's gonna be easier to watch the trailer video first. These trailers are created by my students.
Where secrets awaken and memories deceive. The room of her. Unlock the door and embark on a journey through a maze of secrets toward your escape. Where memories blur the line between truth and illusion. A hybrid escape room experience. Do not miss out immersive journey.
With real-time AI interactions, every choice you make shapes the narrative, revealing hidden truths and deeper mysteries.
You must piece together fragmented memories, which challenges players to questioning the very nature of truth and perception. Collaboration is key. Combine insights to solve the final puzzle, leading to one of 4 possible endings, each shaped by logic, empathy, and interpretation. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Join us right now.
And this one is, I'm going to see briefly, and it's really different atmosphere. So actually, they're showing what the players can do with their ChatGPT interactive creative stories.
Everything is in your hands.
Winston shook one city. That her story is. Start by choosing one of 4 characters' diaries. Next, choose keywords to unlock random related entries.
You can consider these promotional videos to help other players understand their ChatGPT stories. I'm going to share the story. Hold on. Okay. Here. Right. So, for example, we're going to click this one, and then. So this is what my ChatGPT is, not the regular ChatGPT. So you have to subscribe to ChatGPT, use this function, and they compile all the knowledge files and feed the instructions and get this multimodal interactive creative stories. So let's begin the game, and then. Well, some interactive games incorporated the multimodal features like images and sounds and videos, and this one is creating the images of the game. It takes some time. I think I already have a. Let me find. Okay, let me go back. All right, it's working now. So at first, this game shows one of the scenes they want to introduce their players. Still. Right? It's already here. So this is Eric. Because as I introduced when I introduced the story of her story, the attic is a very significant scene in the narrative because where the other twin, the Eve, were hidden in the attic, and she actually before where she met Hannah, Eve that did not exist in this where in our society, and she did not have any identification. So attic is a very important scene, and this where image shows the scene, and then where it asks which one the player wants to investigate. So like cat food. Then it goes on and on. So and then by interacting with this my GPTs, the player's role is find similar to the original game. The player's role is to find what happened in this story and what happened to the where people appearing in the story. And actually, as these are the kind of a fan fiction, were loosely based on the original story, her story. So where I played most of uh, all the student works created in ChatGPT, and all the details and all the main stories are totally different from the original story. So they are just loosely based from the original story, and they created us and reconstructed totally new stories. So smell closer. Sorry. And then you can see the we have a hunter proximity and HAP and a hunter proximity. We have all different scores for this one. So this site actually as players advances the game, this site calculates the scores for each player. How much how closer each player is advancing to the truth. So yeah, it calculates all the scores. And I'm going to show another one. Let me check. This one is also interesting one. This one at the beginning, will provide a whole different options. So click this one, and then it also shows the options what the player wants to next. So like four. So the main goal of these interactive stories and to find the truth and find what happened to with the story. So it kept asking, it keeps asking players to what to do next and what to find next and or what kind of clues they want to collect. So the other one interesting site is this one. This one is a particularly interesting because I already made some. This one is an image of Sarah, and then why this one is an interesting is you can see just the email, the name, and show the email addresses so that well, if I ask questions where here the role of ChatGPT is an investigator, the detective, and the role of the players in a kind of a co-detective or co-investigators were trying to find what happens in this game so that where when the player collects the evidence and asks questions and inquiries to well, this detective K, then detective K actually send the emails and showing all the clues that he had well, related to the specific inquiry the player asked. So let me check my right. I think where is my okay here. I got the email from the where the Detective K. So I asked questions and inquiries to Detective K on my ChatGPT site, and then where the Detective K sent all the evidence and clues that he already got to help me investigate the game. So it's interactive. Well, it's a kind of interesting interaction between my ChatGPT and Google Gmail. So in order to do this, the students will actually use the Python code and integrated this function into the ChatGPT. Okay, so this is some of the examples of ChatGPT, and you can get the ideas how students incorporate with multimodal and also outside features like Gmail into their multimodal creative interactive stories. So, and then let's move to okay, can you see the PowerPoint? Okay, so these are examples of my ChatGPT stories and then also teaser video. And one of the students actually create the games using RenPy. So you can see. Well, I have students from different backgrounds. Some of them from English educations and the English departments, and then also some of them from engineering departments. And especially for these students who created this game using RenPy, were from English department, and they did not much. They were not very familiar with the coding, but with the help of ChatGPT, they constructed this one. And in this case, that's related. The student said told me that without the ChatGPT, they even thought about constructing and developing a game, but they can get they could get all the codes and they can go to get the help from ChatGPT. So they according to their expression, they dared to start building the game. So they actually building this game. Okay, the last module or task of this project was visualizing their were scenes of were significant for their interactive story on ThingLink. So I especially used the ThingLink for this last task, and I'm going to show some of the examples here too. Okay, again. I have so many right here. Okay. So after, so slow. No, it's okay. After constructing their interactive story on ChatGPT and where they visualize the scenes which they consider important for their stories. So this is the house of Hannah, and then you can click. This is interactive, so you can see all these instructions here and teaser videos, and also the start. Was you can start from edit. So as I said before, edit is a very significant place for the original whole story narrative, and that's why well, a lot of students included the attic as an important site in their stories, and then also visualization on the thing link. So you can click the diary. So it's like they integrate and incorporate all the clues and evidence and events into the visualized context here. So you can see, you can, as a player, you can collect the clues in each scene, and then, and as you will play the and look around here, you can collect more evidence and clues, and you can get closer to the truth of what happens in their own, not in about the her original her story, but in their own stories of the student creative work. So, and then there is an interactive quiz. All these are created on this site, and where this site allowed you allow you to create the all different kind of AI generated images and a 360 videos and also this 360 images for context and the settings. So like this one, cat food. So these are all the clues. And then let's move another one. Okay. Well, no, number four has a really weird thing. So, well, actually, I'm going to show around very briefly, but my TAs warned me to not click. So this is not toward the entrance. Are you sure it's a real entrance? And you have to find the entrance. And then this is okay, yes. And then you can go in and you can see, I thought this a restaurant, and also there are some buttons here. And I'm not going to click on these buttons because my TAs warned me if I click wrong button, where really scary and disgusting ghosts will appear. And he was so disgusted by the ghost, and later it's like haunted him. So he warned me not to click on the buttons on this site. But this one is another the 360 images to show the important scenes for their interactive story. Okay, I am going to show one more. Okay, 10. Okay, this one has videos first, and then So you can see all the different crime scene. Living room, study, bedroom. I'm going to go to the living room. And then this one is bathroom. Okay. And you can also collect some evidence here. So sort the residue on dissolved salt. So all these are the clues to solve the mystery. Then the study. See if we can find some evidences here. There are medical report, and there is another medical report. So you have to read them all and collect the evidence and clues to find the mystery. This one, I think this one is 3D, so it takes us so much time. Okay, let's skip this one. Right. And let's go back to the PowerPoint. Okay. Right. So, well, this is me. So overall, this is what happened while the student played the game and wrote creative pieces and were produced their transmedia project. The first one, as you can see, you will already know this is Hannah. And these are the events that are shaped her life. So you can see the event one, event A, B, C, D, E. So there are so many events surrounding her, happening to her in the original game. And when she tells us about these events, this is her story, right? So that's why the title of the game is her story. But as the audience and a player listen to her story, our imagination, interpretations, and background knowledge and previous experiences flow in. So, think about what I explained about Hemingway's iceberg theory. So, this game is developed based on iceberg theory, where our imagination and interpretation about the story flow in, and then we each have our own pictures or these events. And so in other words, we have a mental images. We reconstructed about the story, and later they become our story. So originally in the left image in Hannah's mind, there are events like this that they are randomly shown, and then when I had my own mental image of her story. Hannah's story, I have my own construction of images of the story. So I have event A, B, C, D, E in the random. So from random order to were my own reconstructed order. So this is called a plot. When Hannah just randomly showed us her story, told us her story, but this is now called a story. So the Russian formalist literally called the formal plot and the later story. So while I was conducting research for the first one, I got this term plot and story. Previously, I didn't have any distinction between plot and story. So what Hannah had her mind is in a plot. What Hannah showed us is in a plot, and what we have in our mind after playing the game and after reconstruct this story and getting our mental image of the story, that is our own story. So plot refers to totality of formal and stylistic materials in films or novels, including all the systems of time, space, and causality actually manifested. Story, on the other hand, refers to the reader's or viewer's mental construct of the chronological sequence of event. So the game presents a plot, And the students play, in other words, players construct their own mental map of the plot the game presents, and this is a story. And when a student recreate a story in their own writing, this becomes another plot for its audience. So what I did with my transmedia project is present the plot first and reconstruct the story, and the reconstructed story is presented to others, like through ChatGPT interactive story or the visualize the ThinkLink website. They become the plot again to other audience. Okay, so in conclusion, from the student reflection, I found the following things. The first one is a high engagement. One of the most prominent outcomes was a high level of learning engagement. So the student report being emotionally immersed in the story, especially as they gather the clues and made choices that influences the game's direction. This interactive structure enhances student curiosity and motivation. The second one is an creative story design. This project encouraged the creative thinking through open-ended storytelling. The student reinterpreted the original game, her story narrative, adding new characters, twists, and alternative endings. This freedom actually fosters originality and design-oriented thinking. And third one, I found was an AI as a creative catalyst. AI as you can say creative catalyst, or you can say it's a cognitive partner, collaborator. Many students view AI as just a tool, but as a co-creator, collaborator. And what I found very interesting that a couple of students called the ChatGPT as a friends. This friends and that friends and this friend did that for me. This friend did this for me. So it was very interesting that we're here to hear the student referring ChatGPT as a friend. So and then the next one is a digital storytelling skills. Through using my ChatGPTs and ThinkLink, students develop strong digital storytelling literacy. So they learned to combine narrative, interactive visuals, and even voice and sound to create immersive and multimodal experience that go beyond the simple writing or presentation. The fifth one is problem solving and decision making. Designing a branching story involved the logical thinking and problem solving, because as you can see, where the story is not just a linear in the linear path. It has so many interactive nonlinear paths. So that to create this one, they need logical thinking skills and problem solving skills. Students encouraged to technical issues such as prompt limitations or visual glitches, and had to revise their approaches, adjust narrative flows, and make design decisions collaboratively. The other one is an evolving perceptions of AI. Initially, the students saw as an AI and a simple assistant, so that they just were not order ChatGPT to do this and to do that, but later they began to see AI as a creative partner and a collaborator. So they realized the quality of AI input depends heavily on how well they communicate their intent. The last one is an ownership and a creative agency. Perhaps most importantly, students felt a strong sense of authorship. Even though AI supported them, they made the key decisions. They described themselves as designer and not just as users, maintaining control over the tone, flow, and the narrative direction. So in summary, the project not only enhanced the digital narrative skills, but also empowered the student to think creatively, take initiative, and collaborate with the AI meaningfully, and all through the engaging medium of a game-based learning. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. I think I have 6 minutes for Q&A.
Yes, thank you for the very insightful presentation, Dr. Lee. Please give big applause to her it's very fascinating for me, even as a game-based learning researchers, to see that how you really incorporate various types of game element into your course and then kind of assignment as well. So I think that we have many attendees here. So among attendees, anyone you want to really, oh, so someone raised your hand. So Fu Yun or Unbi, right? That raised your hand. Maybe you can leave your question.
So do I
I
need
don't
to
know.
check? Okay.
So I'm not sure whether that the attendees can really access that the chat function here because I'm just a panelist, but
Oh,
all right.
okay. All right.
Yeah. So, but anyway, maybe you could feel free to just send a question to me. I'm going to, on behalf of you, I'm going to ask the Dr. Lee about your inquiry. But my inquiry actually is the study itself. One of the questions I have is you use the Torrance criteria for creativity measure, originality, flexibility, and elaboration, right? The for analyzing student writing. Out of my curiosity, which aspect did the student most improved on based on your data among four different types of subdomains? And then are there any future plans to incorporate that kind of fluency? Because you have limited limited settings you didn't have a chance to really consider, but are you still considering that measure of fluency for the future? So
Yes. Thank you for the question. Actually, well, for the third one I'm working on right now, I'm going to include all four constructs of Torrance's creativity, including fluency, because fluency can be measured the amount of well, the interactive writing produced by the students. So as you can see, this, in the some samples where this takes quite a while to play the game because it produces a lot of the text and then also multimodal interactions. So I'm not sure how much fluency can were attributed be attributed to ChatGPT production and how much to the student own outcome. It's difficult to distinguish these two, but where I'm going to include a fluency to measure how much amount of text they with each ChatGPT interactive story can produce to the show the audience. So the fluency will be included in my third research. And also going back to the first question, I found very interesting things because where simply put, originality is the one which has been most improved through this multimedia AI assisted task because when I asked the student how much work did ChatGPT do for you, and they said, well, it wasn't a pair work, so students considered ChatGPT as an AI as a third member of their team. And they said that we had a pretty much even workload among the three of us. So one third for each student and one third for ChatGPT. And then I asked them, then how much ownership can you give ChatGPT? And then they said, maybe 10% or 5%. So it's there is a big discrepancy between the workload that the ChatGPT performed for them and the ownership that the ChatGPT can get from them. So we're like 5%, 10% for ownership and the workload in terms of workload, 30 more than 30%, because they explained they had the original ideas. Because they had the original ideas and they fed all the prompt and were actually made ChatGPT worked for them. So the ChatGPT did some elaboration and give some flexible ideas and more perspectives about the story they created. But the originality of the story, they said that's theirs. So,
Okay, great.
uh,
Great.
so
Thank you for
that
that
was a kind
answer.
of interesting finding.
Yeah, also another question from audience is Fu Yun. What's the student's capability in terms of writing skills and computer-related experience? And what's your suggestion regarding students' capability in terms of writing skill and computer-related experience to I think that is the same question. Benefit from such exploring, interacting experience with the games.
It's hard to or simple answer. In terms of language, this specific course in an English only class. So in the previous years, those students who did not have a high level of English skills did not actually enroll in this class because they were afraid of producing all the outcomes in English, and they had to give presentations in English. But where recently they had a where they can get help from AIs. So of course they use AI to produce the language as well. And I specifically asked the student concerning the language, and some of the students were from engineering department whose English proficiency was not that high, and they said they learned a lot of English expressions while they were doing this project. But interestingly, some of the students mentioned that because of where they are seniors in the college, and they are highly motivated and very goal-oriented students. So in other words, simply put, they are very good students. So even though they used were AI tools for language, they said that they checked all the productions created by ChatGPT where if there are some errors and the text were appropriate for their intentions, and then while doing it, they learned a lot of new expressions in English. But what they added was like, but they were not sure how long they could remember those expressions they learned from ChatGPT compared to or what they learned from the teacher and from the books, where they assume what they learned from the AI and the ChatGPT would not remain that much longer compared to where they when they learned English from the books. So that's another interesting well, interview quotes.
Mm, mm. Great, great. I think that it fully answers Fu Yun's question. Maybe if time is allowed, maybe we can get one more question, and then we are going to call it a day. What do you think? So, from audience, do you have further questions you want to ask to Dr. Lee?
Okay. So she also asked about computer-related expenses, where
Yeah, yeah, right,
especially
right.
with the AI,
Mm-hmm.
where most of them told me they were enhanced their AI skills a lot, and also they said it was necessary skills, and they were certain they are going to use AI tools and including ChatGPT were better next time or for next task. So this was a wonderful opportunity. They said that this was a wonderful opportunity to increase their AI skills, AI
Yeah, I
readiness.
think that, yeah. So I think that there is the last question from Jungmin Hong. Yeah. So the main point is any specific recommendation and suggestion for maintaining language focus while bringing engaging game element or technology into the course in the classroom.
Grade 12?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm, uh, depending on the context, it's not very feasible idea in Korea because we have a very strong and a strict curriculum for each subject. So I'm not sure the teachers will have enough space to incorporate game-based learning or game features into their classrooms. But if I provided the recommendations, well, what I do is I usually don't use the word games for education were developed for educational purposes. Usually, the educational games are not very interesting. So where I where everything I don't know, but that's why I use the commercial or off-the-shelf games. Sometimes in it, but when you use a game for the secondary and primary schools, you have to be super careful and cautious about what kind of games you're going to select for your students. You have to consider your students' emotions and also where ages. I would not recommend at all to use her story for primary or secondary school. That is impossible because that's way too shocking. Story for the young learners. So you have to be very careful what kind of games you're going to choose and how you're going to incorporate with a follow-up task. So it's not just to let the student to play the game, but you have to design very carefully about what kind of a follow-up tasks you're going to give to the students. So it's kind of a designer job to develop the entire module or project incorporated with the game.
Sounds good. So yeah, I think it's a quite impressive for every content that you demonstrated for us. I really appreciate your effort and then also creativity in utilizing the game elements into your coursework and then language education and then also transmedia project. So as a perspective as a moderator and then game-based learning researchers, through game-based task and then transmedia project you propose and then share is such kind of a very touching on students' co-construct knowledge that help students to really develop and then also recognize AI as a partner for their knowledge development, also their partner for the problem solving. I think that it is also kind of a journey for game-based learning researchers to how we can really incorporate the AI and then also a combination of the game elements interweaved together to see that what kind of aspect and then how we can develop that the co-construct knowledge process throughout students' learning journey. So I think that is the major takeaway that Dr. Lee proposed today.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I really appreciate. And then we have following the APSCE webinar, end of July 31st. So 9 to 10 UTC plus A time zone, and from associate, yeah. So okay, and yeah. So Ritesh Chow, that the Central Queensland University is a professor. He's going to discuss the repercussion of generative AI on teaching and learning insight from ICT education. So please engage with the further conversations in the APSCE webinar. And then please also engage with our QR code and the survey links there. Please complete the survey. I think that will be helpful for us to improve our webinar session and then also following APSCE event. Thank you everyone attending this insightful talk today, and then we hope to see you again in the following event. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.